obviously you never like to see your teammate go down with an injury with Elena, but what was that moment like for you, having to switch jerseys and get into the match?
Yeah, it's never fun to see a teammate go down, like you said. But Kathy and the staff told me to go get my jersey, and so um, I feel like you have to be ready at all times at this level. And so whether that's as a serving sub, whether that's as a three rotation DS, or whether something happens, just staying ready. And so just super important to know the game plan and just go in and do your best.
What do you guys think you did well there in the first two sets?
I thought we defended them at a really high level, and we're picking up all their little small balls and shots. I thought our serve receive and serving was really solid. I thought we won that battle in the first two sets, and then I think it kind of dropped off there in the last couple sets. But I thought our serve and pass game was really strong in the first two.
Anything different you could have done there in the third, fourth, or fifth sets to kind of swing one to win the match?
Yeah, I think we just played a little bit tentative from all aspects of the game, whether it was with serving or attacking or just any type of small balls. I think we're just a little bit hesitant in the last couple of sets, and especially in set four, I think we missed about 7 serves, and I thought we just let up a little bit, and we're just being timid, and that usually leads to errors.
How does your mindset change going from defensive specialist server to having to go into play libero?
Yeah, it's definitely a different role, that's for sure. I just tried to provide a sense of calmness and just do my job and not do too much. But yeah, as a libero, you're kind of the quarterback of the back row in a sense. And so, but I just tried to do my job and not overplay and just give the team what they needed to hopefully get a win tonight.
That worked. Carly, take me through those first two sets. What was going well for you guys?
Yeah, I just think we were playing pretty good block defense, taking our opportunities. Nobody was playing out of their minds, but I feel like just doing our job and being patient with our attack and exposing some things in their lineup changes that we could have used to our advantage. So yeah, I thought we played really well, first two especially.
What do you think changed from that point on then? What did it happen in the third set or the fourth set? Or
I do think that they put in Vanderweide, and she had a better match than one of the other outsides. They rotated them through, and so she brought something new. We obviously lost Lena and made a position change. That's not at all why we lost the match at all, but we lost a little bit of momentum there. And yeah, I think that they just started to hammer some balls that we couldn't really handle, and we missed some serves in the fourth set. That kind of would have liked that back because it was a really close game, and yeah, just the service errors. We have to be aggressive, but find that fine balance of aggression versus errors.
how difficult is it to lose your starting libero and then have to go on with somebody that's starting third set? Jenna?
Yeah, I think it is difficult from a team energy perspective. Jenna is a very, very talented libero and has no problem from a position standpoint of playing it. But when you're in a rhythm with a starting lineup, and we've played with the same starting lineup with Lena for a while, there's some passing situations that just have to be worked out and talked about. I thought Jenna did a really good job stepping up tonight, and that the kinks were pretty seamless. But it is difficult to lose your starting libero, obviously.
Is there anything Orlando did that kind of caught you guys off surprise?
I just think that they played a bunch of different people. So we prepared for a starting six that was pretty average as in like what they've been doing all season, just like every team we play has been doing a starting six all season. They mixed in a lot of different people. So I do think like Lydia Grote, for example, came in. We didn't have that much. She's coming off an ankle injury, so she had a really good match. Didn't obviously prepare for her because we didn't, know she was healthy even.
How do you guys just find the motivation to keep playing postseason out of the picture and just keep pushing forward?
Yeah, I think we have really great fans. We have a really great organization at the Grand Rapids Rise. I would honestly say we have the best organization in the league. No shade to other teams. I just think it's really, really special here. And so just playing for our organization, playing for our local fans who love us, that is honestly a joy. And even with playoffs out of the picture, that's something we love to play together and enjoy this group. Play hard for the people who give us this opportunity, the fans, Kathy, the coaches, everybody who's been working hard for us. We just need to return the favor to them.
All right, kind of just start with those first two sets. What do you think you guys are doing well?
Those first two sets, I think it was just flowing. We were just trusting each other, and we were digging a lot of balls and just playing scrappy volleyball, which is always frustrating to play against. And so I think that helped us. And then people were just hitting the ball really hard with confidence.
What do you think the turning point was?
I hate to say it, but a little bit of Lena going down. That always is a little bit of a shock. But that's no reason to let it be a lull. So we had to fight that and just work around it and build people up. A little bit of those changes are hard to catch rhythm again, but a little bit of that, but we can't do that.
Carly kind of touched on this, that Orlando was playing all these different players that you might not have had a lot of scouting report stuff on. How difficult is that?
That is hard because sometimes you're shocked that they can do something, or we're like, they played 4 sets and they've hit cross majority of the time. Then we're thinking, okay, they're only going to go cross, and then they can pin a ball on the line, and it's hard. So it's different. It's just an adjustment, but it's almost fun to play against them because it's just like read and react. So they played a good game, and I think they have a really deep team.
With playoffs obviously being out of the picture, where do you draw motivation from to compete?
Just the want to win and play well for your teammates. You just want to build people up, and as much as this year was not what we wanted, and we still want to finish out strong, you got to think, how can I get better today so next year is better, and how can I build this team even for next year?
That'll work.
Cool.
Well, Kathy, let's start with the good. Those first 2 sets, what was the team doing well?
You know, I mean, I don't know. I thought we came out and, you know, pushed at them a little bit and you know, did a lot of little things well. They had changed a couple people that we didn't see out there that we had planned, but I thought we made some pretty good adjustments. And, you know, but I still felt like we had another level in us that we really weren't cooking into. And so, you know, in game 3, they changed some of their, you know, their pieces and brought some people out. And Lindsay Vanderweyde had a good game, and she started to pick things up a little bit. And yeah, we just, you know, they came out and they did some good things. So.
Carly kind of touched on them using a wide variety of different players that you might not have full scouting reports on.
They're players we've had scouting reports on because we've played them before. So all the players that were out there at some point we played, except for Micaiah White probably. And you know, so that was a little different, but I think, you know, it may have, I think, you know, we had that long break with the change of the Libero thing, and I think, you know, we came out a little flatter after that, and, you know, we really needed to rally and do the kind of things we needed to do to just kind of finish things off there. You know, a couple serving errors, we kind of went into that lull, especially in game 4, and didn't take care of business and just, you know, go after it and get it done. So.
How difficult is it for your team to turn the momentum back on after a change when Lena goes down with the injury?
Well, I think it's important that, you know, competitors, you know, rally and get ready and just kind of next person up, let's go. And I thought Jenna, you know, she was passing really well and doing some really good things. So I don't think it was that necessarily. I think it was kind of just that break, and it kind of, you know, we had momentum and that type of thing, and it was a pretty long break, and we just didn't recapture that momentum to the same level. But game 3, you know, could have closed it out, didn't do that, and I think that's where you have to take care of it. And you know, when you're in that position, you're playing a team that's in the tournament, and you're just like, hey, you know, you're right in the position to close it out, and we didn't. So we've got to compete harder and make sure that we're taking the kind of swings and doing the kind of things we need at the right times.
What did Orlando do well in those last 3 sets?
You know, I'm looking at the stats, and you know, we have more kills, more, you know, our hitting percentage is higher, different. You know, we have more blocks. We outstatted in a lot of cases. I just think it was the timing of the things that you do. So, you know, I think they came up with the points that mattered at the right time. So we've got to make sure that we're doing that, you know, and putting ourselves in a position to walk away with a win.